What's going on, everyone? James Klug here. As many of you know, I was just in Portland, Oregon at the Mark O. Hatfield Federal Courthouse, where there's been 65 plus nights of protesting and rioting. And I wanted to share something very important with you guys that I noticed at the event. Number one, there is no police presence at these protests at all. Police do come out after their 10th or 15th warning for people to get off of federal property, stop attempting to burn the federal property, shooting fireworks at it. But other than that, if there's none of that going on, there is no police presence at these protests. The media talks about them being peaceful protests, and it's very apparent that the police are not there at all because these protesters cannot handle a police presence. And I'll repeat that. These protesters cannot handle a police presence without the whole situation completely getting out of control. Now, I find that it's very odd that that's the case when they're talking about these peaceful protests, because if there were officers there, and I can tell you this for a fact, if there were officers there just monitoring the protests, making sure everything's good, making sure there's no fights breaking out, making sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing legally, protesting legally, it would get completely out of control. And the reason why I say that is because of what I saw at the protest. We have chants that are saying, F the police. Thousands of people chanting this. We have chants that say, burn the precinct to the ground, the police precinct.
Every town, burn that precinct to the ground.
We have chants of them saying, ACAB, all cops are bastards.
All cops are bastards. ACAB, all cops are bastards.
We have officers at the top of the federal building that protesters are screaming at, and this is happening multiple nights, are screaming at, telling them to jump, to do a front flip. Let's see pigs fly. All these things were said.
Jump! 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 Do a flip!
And we've really gotten away, this Black Lives Matter movement has really gotten away from condemning bad police officers that should be condemned, that should be protested about. They've gotten away from selecting few individuals to point out, and they've gone with just the general approach. All cops are bastards. All cops are bad. Let's burn this precinct to the ground. And this is incredibly dangerous. And one thing that I thought of actually, right when I started hearing all these chants, and this was every single night, we were there from Thursday night to Saturday night, every single time that I saw these chants going down, I kind of thought to myself, I thought about a gentleman named Daryl Davis. And for those of you that don't know, Daryl Davis is this black American that grew up, I forgot when, maybe in the 60s or something like that. Daryl Davis has gotten 200 at least KKK members to leave the KKK. And this gentleman, the thing that sparked a lot of his interest in racism was, how can you hate me? This is his quote. How can you hate me when you don't even know me? And I was thinking about all the hateful things they were saying to the officers, let's say on the top of the federal courthouse, telling them to jump, saying all cops are bastards, saying all this stuff. And I thought to myself, this is a very similar, if not the same, line of thinking as a racist has with a black individual. You don't know them. You don't know anything about them. You don't know anything they've been through. You don't know what they've done for the community. But don't worry. Because of that uniform, they hate you. You're disgusting. You're as good as dead to them. This way of thinking is incredibly, incredibly dangerous. And really what I found is they are fighting hate and evil and a prejudice with hate, evil, and prejudice. You guys, if you enjoyed this video and you're watching on YouTube, please consider subscribing. If you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, shoot me a follow for more. Thanks.